Hello, this is George Hutton, and you are listening to the Mind Persuasion Podcast. Today we continue our study of money brain. For more information, please visit mindpersuasion.com/money-brain. Today we'll be covering money origins. Let's start way at the beginning. We will assume that money wasn't given to us by aliens or a bunch of cavemen were poking around in the jungle and happened across an ATM. We'll start from current times and work back in time to see how money likely was invented. Then we will slowly work our way back forward and cover all the various types of money. Now till before. We live in a very modern, technologically advanced society. Before modern society, there was pre-industrial society. The Industrial Revolution led to many advancements, mostly due to finally being able to unlock the massive amounts of stored energy in fossil fuels. Before that, history stretched all the way back to the first civilizations which popped up in Mesopotamia about 3500 BC. Before that, it is believed that humans were foragers or hunter-gatherers. The main point is that before the first civilizations appeared, humans lived in relatively small groups. Small groups. It's believed that humans are essentially the same as we were up to 50,000 years ago. That means our brains, our bodies, our thinking and speaking capabilities are the same now as they were long before we invented large cities. The main difference between large cities and small bands of humans was the ability to deliberately get food out of the ground. It's believed that humans didn't consciously decide to do this, rather they were forced by their environment. After the last ice age receded, there was a lot of food. The area where many humans lived very comfortably was the Fertile Crescent. This area and time were essentially a Goldilocks period for early humans. Not a lot of people, but plenty of easy-to-get food. But eventually the populations got too large for the naturally available food to support everybody. So people were more or less forced to figure out how to get stuff out of the ground. Most historians believe this was a very slow process, taking perhaps 1,000 years. But when they did figure out how to consistently get food out of the ground, this could support large societies. Barter. When you have a small group of people, nobody needs to specialize much. If you are hungry, you and your buddies can go kill something. Or you can find some naturally growing wheat, grind it into some flour, and make some bread. The rules were simple. If you wanted something, you had to get it yourself, either on your own or in a group. But once more and more people started living together, people could specialize. There were different professions for different people. Some people were farmers, growing mostly cereals and grains. Some were farmers and raised livestock. Some made clothing or houses. Some were warriors or soldiers. Some were landowners and some were politicians. How people kind of figured out what jobs they ended up having isn't quite understood. Only that different jobs existed and different people filled those jobs. This gave rise to the idea of barter, of trading what you had for what you wanted. This probably felt very much like it does today. Remember, we have the same brains and thinking and speaking skills today as we did way back then. So, a kid walking around at recess trying to trade a bag of chips for a bag of cookies feels very much like a farmer with some grain wanting to trade it for a pair of shoes. But a kid with a bag of chips looking to trade it for a bag of cookies is simple and straightforward. With a lot of people doing many different things, a problem soon pops up. Coincidence of wants. Economists call this coincidence of wants. The kid with a bag of chips must find a kid with a bag of cookies, but he must find a kid with a bag of cookies that is willing to trade his bag of cookies for a bag of chips. If he finds a kid with a bag of cookies, but that kid really loves cookies and hates chips, then Chip Kid is out of luck. With kids and lunch accessories, it's straightforward. But with a lot of people with a lot of different skills, wandering around looking for trading partners will soon become very, very difficult. There are a few ways to satisfy this. Central authority. One way is that the guy in charge keeps track of everything that everybody makes. They go around and collect everything and then make sure everybody has enough stuff. This is possible so long as there isn't much stuff. If all you've got is a few thousand people, some grain farmers, some animals, some guys that build houses and equipment, and some soldiers, this is possible. This system doesn't require any money, but it does require some kind of record-keeping system. It also means that people that grow wheat, for example, have an idea of what they are getting in exchange for their wheat, or more specifically, what they are getting in exchange for their labor that produces their wheat. So long as everybody is relatively happy, then this system will last for a long while. Commodity money. Usually something like commodity money pops up. This is common today on the black market and in prison. A natural thing is chosen to be used as money. The thing must satisfy some very general characteristics. It's got to be small enough to carry around. It's got to last a while. It can't spoil. It must be something that exists in limited amounts. Up until recently, cigarettes were the preferred commodity money in prison, but since smoking has been banned, they use other things such as foil packs of fish. Plenty of various things have been used as commodity money in various societies throughout history: salt, certain shells, large rocks, and most commonly gold and silver. Ancient societies until present. As soon as people started living together in groups, and anywhere you put people together in groups, it seems that we have an instinct to find some kind of commodity money. This instinct represents a deeper instinct, and that is to do whatever we can to get some kind of commodity money. The more of that commodity money we can get our hands on, the more stuff we can buy with it. So far, the basic rules of money are simple. You get money by selling something, either something you produced, something you have, or doing any service. Once you have some money, you can save it or you can use it to buy something. Modern mixes. In modern society, and going all the way back to the very first societies, we can see two ways to get money. One is to sell something produced, something we have, or a service we provide. Another way is to get some money or some type of goods from a central authority figure. Normally this involves taxation, and taxation has been something that has existed in every large society. We can imagine a large and very primitive society that hasn't yet invented a standard form of money. We can imagine various forms of commodity money popping up, as well as a central authority collecting and distributing goods. For example, they may collect wheat from farmers and use it to feed the soldiers who spend their days protecting the borders of the society. At the same time, farmers and soldiers could trade what they have for what they want, which would likely lead to some type of commodity money being used. I'm George Hutton. Thank you for listening to the Mind Persuasion Podcast. For more information, please visit mindpersuasion.com/money-brain. I look forward to speaking with you again soon.